Hi there, welcome to my channel or welcome back. Gina Tumasi here, your favorite psych practitioner. Well, on this internet street, I tend to talk about how to minimize should I stay, should I go in high conflict, narcissistic, inconsistent, toxic, what else you want to fill in the gap relationships, how to heal, how to level up, and how to live a holistic life even after separation, divorce, breakup, and also address mental health stuff from depression, anxiety, and everything in between. In today's video, we're going to talk about the topic of the types of men to avoid. See, these are things that our mothers, our grandmothers, especially some of us who are from Africa, where you are seen and not heard. You have a roof over your head, and that's all that matters. No teachings. So follow.
The type of men to stay away from if you want a happy, long-term, successful relationship. Part 1. Number 1, the type of guy that comes on way too fucking strong. Oh, you like me day one? I get it, I'm that bitch. However, it's a red flag. And yes, we're talking about the love bomber. The person that is so hot and heavy, wants to know everything about you, is so obsessed with you, thinks that you're the most interesting person in the world, wants to have your babies, wants to get married, names all your kids already. Does this sound like something you're going through right now? Here's the truth of the matter. You do not know someone for real for like at least 3 months. So the fact that someone is claiming that they really, really, really like you and it's only been 2 weeks, you don't have enough information about me to make an informed decision on whether or not you actually like me. And the people that are so hot and heavy in the beginning, I can tell you right now, they are the quickest to burn out. And at first, maybe you were a little skeptical, thought they were full of shit, somehow crept in there, got you to be vulnerable, and then once you let your guards down, that's when they walk away and things completely change and you're left like, what the fuck just happened here? Give it 2 weeks to a month and I can promise you they're probably bored, on to the next thing, and don't even remember who you are. So if you're seriously considering a long-term happy and healthy relationship, please avoid the type of people that are so intense in the very beginning. And let me just say that there is a difference between being interested and being intense. Interested, slow burn. Wow, we have a connection. This is really crazy. We want the same things. He wants this. I want this. That is okay. What's not okay? I've had guys in the first like month say I love you, and I'm like, absolutely not, we're not doing this. I mean, seriously, one of the biggest red flags that a lot of people overlook. So if you're really serious about dating, avoid these people, and hit the like and follow for part 2.
The type of men to stay away from if you want a long, successful relationship. Number 1, pretty boys. Yeah, you know, the ones that like to get their nails done more than you do. Stay away. And this is why I say that, because you don't want a man that's more high maintenance than you. You don't want a man that's in competition with you. Now, there's a difference between a man that has really good style about them, but I'm talking about the ones that are overly infatuated with their looks. Number 2, a man that is overly aggressive. Now, being consistent and being aggressive are two different things. And when I mean aggressive, I mean the type of guys that when you meet them, they kind of love bomb you, right? Like they're just a little too attached and they don't really even know you, and it's kind of a turn off. They want to know everything about you, and some girls are into that, but we all know that can turn into something worse later on. And number 3 are men who do not keep their promises. They do not keep their word. They'll tell you something in one ear and then their actions will show you otherwise. Not only can you not trust them, but you can't count on them to do what they say they're actually going to do. That will always have you looking over your shoulder and second guessing things.
So here's my take on the subject of the kind of man to avoid on this trend when dating, or if you're married to one, how to recognize that this guy literally doesn't like you, doesn't love you, and how long you're willing to stay in limbo. Oh, should I go, should I stay? How much you're willing to twist yourself in order to keep the relationship going, because most of the time when you're with this kind of guys, most likely your needs are not being met. You might express what your needs are, but he's choosing to not. And first of all, that's a first sign. So things like if you're dating a man who tells you he has children, right? He has children, but for some reason, he's not involved in the children's lives. Depending on your preference, if you don't have children and you're dating a man who has children, you should open your eyes to how involved he is with those children and pay critical attention to what he's saying about his ex or his exes. If you have a man who has full custody of his children, you don't just go be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just take that place. I'm gonna be the greatest woman he's ever seen. Blasey blase. His ex probably was bitchy, was too mean to him, and hence why we're here. It's a pattern. He's love bombing you. His true self will eventually come out when he chooses to switch up. People like that, they will switch up. Pay attention to a man who's quick to anger. He's treating you one way, but the way he talks about other people, friends, the secretary at his job, the valet person, the server, it can't be subtle. So watch for that. Anger issues, even road rage, how he drives, how impatient he gets when somebody's slower in front of him. He might not say anything, but how quick he reacts to switch the lanes. Pay attention. Those are all telltale signs. Does he get in car accident a lot? Is he constantly frazzled, getting into things with people in his past? He's constantly have some type of drama going. And when you confront him about it, like, hey, babe, like, you think you can take your time with that driving? They get defensive. They might lie. They might give excuses as to why they did X, Y, and Z. But that's where the lying, the impatience, the anger starts to rear its head. The controlling, the love bombing can look like he sent you a bunch of flowers at work because you guys had an issue that you needed to discuss, or you're discussing it, but you couldn't make an agreement. All of a sudden, at your work, you get big bouquet of flowers. Everybody else at work was like, oh my God, whose flowers are this? Who sent you these flowers? And you're like, oh, it's my boyfriend or my husband or whatever. Everybody's drooling like, oh my God, you got the best one. Oh my God, he must love you so much if he's sending you flowers like this, chocolate, blah, blah, blah. But behind closed doors, when you notice there's a discrepancy on how he shows affection outside, sending you things or holding your hand, being overly all over you, while behind closed doors, you guys cannot make any simple agreement. He's unwilling to collaborate, corroborate, whatever the word is. Okay, agreement, there's never any forward momentum. Everything is circular. And when he projects, never apologizes. He never apologizes for everything. Everything is like, you ask him a question, he turns the whatever it is to a question to you. And you're like, I asked you a question. Even that alone can turn into an argument. Where you ask a question, he never answers straightforward or never takes accountability for something that you might have told him, hey, I was really hurt by this you did, or ask a question about clarifying a situation or something. You're trying to clarify. You're trying to seek answers from him in a very, maybe, soft way. It might be a text, a voice note, or in person, and that person is just not having it. He's very petty. He holds grudges. He acts single when you're not around. He's very chaotic. He's always have something that is going to a man who's always have eyes lingering around. He's a very lustful man, and those are the kind of man you should literally stay away from and avoid. But I cannot stress enough to pay attention to a man who have children and is not involved on a daily, on a weekly, on a monthly. There's a schedule and he follows through. Even if he's not there, he's supporting those kids consistently with money. He's supporting them consistently with money. He's calling them. He's FaceTiming them consistently. He makes it a big part of his day-to-day to be part of his children's lives. And when you think you're the prize because you got that kind of man, and or you influence him in order for him to not be involved in his children's life because you think you got him like that, well, there's such a thing as karma too. So you gotta pay attention. If you want a good, fruitful relationship or marriage, pay attention to what you're doing to the exes, or how you're not being a girly girl. If you see a man who's doing that you better release him back to the wild. But if you're gonna roll with it, be mindful to know what you're selling with. But anyways, let me know in the comment section what are the kind of man to avoid while you're dating. If you're married, what you're doing on, oh my God, I think something is not right. Your intuition is screaming, I should leave. But there's a next day was like, maybe I should stay longer. Maybe it will change. Maybe you can go back to the first few weeks when we were dating. Oh my God, he was so good. He apologized, but he does say sorry. But if he says sorry and you're not holding him accountable, like you're sorry, but don't ever do that again. If he doesn't respect your boundaries for you to say, I hear you say sorry, but don't do that again. If that man doesn't respect you, oh, and then I forgot, make sure you ask who he voted for, especially if you're dating. That's part of collecting data, right? Who does he follow on podcasts? That should tell you all you want. So a man in the manosphere type of guys, pay attention. Okay, ladies, love you, bye.
Ladies, these are 4 guys that you need to stay away from because they're super weird. It's not going to be a good boyfriend, in my opinion. And it's just better for you to just not even deal with them in the long run. Number 1, the guy who believes he is a prize and a God's gift to women, you need to stay away from that because he is always going to believe that he needs a woman to prove themselves to him. And anything that he does for you, he's going to expect you to do something back in return. He's going to need you to make up for the things that he's done for you. He's going to feel like he's a prize. Therefore, he's going to feel like he wants you to prove how great of a girlfriend you are to him. And that's just not a good dynamic. It's just very imbalanced in the relationship. And you just don't want this type of guy because he's not going to feel like women are actually valuable in the relationship. And it's all about what they can do for them. And that is not a really provider mentality type of guy. You don't want that. You want the guy to know that you're the prize and that you're valued and what he needs to do to make you happy. That's how a relationship works, is that dynamic, happy wife, happy life. To the guy that cannot plan a date, if he cannot plan a date, he cannot plan a future for you. So if you have the guy who is asking you what we should do, even though he asked you to hang out, or if he's saying, I don't really know a lot of restaurants in your area, but why don't you look something up and we'll go, right? The guy who just tells you to plan it and then we'll go. No, that is not a real man. Real man will plan a date for you, make you feel good, special, not make you have to think and use your masculine brain, okay? He will take charge, leadership. So if he's not able to do that naturally, he's not going to be a good leader. He's probably not ambitious in anything in his life as well. This is what's called a boy and not a man. He's going to waste your time, and at the end of the day, you deserve so much better than that. 3, the guy who believes in 50-50. And when they talk about 50-50, it is always financially. You never want to date this type of guy. Again, it kind of relates to number 1, but he's going to feel like he wants you to put in some stake into the relationship. And financially is something that they start off with. And this type of guy is not a provider mentality. And it's never really going to be 50-50 entirely. It's like you're going to feel like you're doing way more because at the end of the day, when it's 50-50 between a man and a woman, it's never truly balanced. If a man is doing more for you, it does create a more balanced relationship for the woman and for the man. It just creates that healthy dynamic between the both of them. When a man expects you to chip in financially 50-50 or household chores 50-50, it's never going to be like that because slowly but surely that 50-50 is going to turn into him doing 30 and you doing 70. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just going to chip away at that slowly. You don't allow him to step up. He is going to little by little take advantage of the things that you're doing for him and not step up as a man. So when you are really easy on men in how much they provide for you, how much they invest into you, they will be lazy in the relationship. You have to give them tasks to do. You have to get them a reason to go to work every day and motivate them to continuously go to work so that he can grind for the both of you. You know what I mean? If they don't have that natural ambition to do that for you, then that's not the type of man you want. A man who expects 50-50, he's a lazy bum. I'm sorry, completely lazy. I don't agree with that. And he's just not going to be the type of leader mentality type of guy that you want. And for the insecure man, you do not want to date the type of guy who is insecure, because they will eventually make you feel insecure about yourself. And it's just naturally how it is. They're going to try and bring you down. They're going to try and bring you down to their level, because they cannot fathom or handle having someone as amazing as you. So they're going to chip away at your confidence very slowly but surely. I promise you right now, if you date anybody insecure, it's foolproof. They will chip away at your confidence, and you're going to eventually down the road look at yourself and be like, how did I get into this? How did I possibly get into a situation where I allowed a guy to chip away at my sparkle, my shine, my confidence? And trust me, they do it every single time. So you want to date a man who's confident, who knows who he is, who can handle having a beautiful woman by his side and not get threatened, not be jealous. You know what I mean? Like, the insecure man will be jealous of you because you are just something like that things just come naturally to you that they have to work really hard for, and they just resent you for that. So you want to be with a guy who can handle how successful you are or how beautiful you are, because that is only going to uplift you in the relationship and not bring you down. And you want someone who's your equal, and that's just going to be a more balanced relationship at the end of the day. Remember to stay safe, ladies, and I love you.
Types of men to avoid at all cost. Number one, I like to call this one the nighttime lane. This is the one that hits you up after dark. You're not a priority. You're just convenient. Number two, the I miss you texter. Now, this is the one that doesn't really miss you. Shocking. He's actually busy living his life without you. And normally, on a random day after he's hungover, he'll hit you up on like a Tuesday, maybe 2 a.m., maybe 2 p.m. Number three, the confused man. Nope, he's not confused. He just doesn't want you enough. Sorry. And last but not least, the narcissist. Now, this is the love bomber. This is the person that makes everything about him. And this is the person that gaslights the shit out of you. Now, we're going to just run away from all four of these, because you're learning from me. Do as I say, not as I do.
The 5 types of men that you need to watch out for if you are dating in your 30s if you do not want your life to be ruined. So number 1, the party animal who is still partying way into his 30s. Unfortunately, the man in his 30s partying every single weekend is not cute anymore. It was cute in our 20s when they were popping bottles and we were like impressed by that, but it's not impressive anymore. It's fine to go to the club for a birthday here and there, but every weekend is just way too much at this age. Number 2 is the man in finance who finally has a little bit of money. He's no longer an analyst and maybe in a more senior position, but he's still stingy with his money and spending like he has no money. He does love to spoil himself with watches because he wants to flex, but he's super stingy with you. Next is the man who is still a mama's boy. I dated this guy in his mid-30s, and every little decision that he made, he had to call his mom. It was really, really weird. It's fine to be close to your mom, but you need to be a man and make your own decisions once in a while. Next is the man who is hot and cold. He's obsessed with you one week, but the next week he ghosts you and can barely answer a text message. Consistency is key because you want to see a future with this person. Mixed signals just means he's not ready for a full-time commitment. Lastly is the ex-basher. For some reason, every single ex he has was toxic, was rude. It's always their fault, but he doesn't take any accountability. In his 30s, the guy should also realize that in his 20s, he's probably made some mistakes along the way and shouldn't always blame his ex. All of his exes, according to him, were crazy. He might be the problem. If you're currently dating in your 30s, let me know which type of guys you are trying to avoid. Don't waste your 30s with the wrong man, but I want to know your unhinged dating stories. Let me know below.
I want to tell you 3 types of men you should never date. Number 1, the unproductive men, aka storytellers. These are the kind of men that always have stories to tell. You ask them, what do you do for a living? They tell you, I'm waiting for my visa. There is this work I applied in 5 years ago. Or they tell you, I'm expecting something huge. There is never a concrete thing that they do. They are lazy. They are broke. You want to avoid them. This type of men, things die in their hands. You give them ₦1 million today, be rest assured it's going down. Give them a car, give them a job, be rest assured they're going to tell a story on how they were sacked, on how the car got lost, or whatever. Like, they are full of stories. They are very irresponsible. You want to avoid them. If you get entangled with such men, they are taking you down the drain. You have a business and you involve them. Be rest assured that the business is going down. You want the kind of man that will tell you, babe, I am a mechanic, I am a carpenter, I am a bricklayer, or I am an engineer, or whatever, and you see them indeed doing that. That is the kind of man that you want to be involved with. Number 2, avoid men that enforces submissiveness. These are the worst set of men. They parade themselves as alpha males. They believe that women are properties for them to purchase. They believe women are inferior to them. They believe that women were born to serve them. You want to avoid such men. Then I hope that you know that it is always the bottom barrel men, the good for nothing men, that always clamors for submissiveness. They know that they have almost nothing to offer. So they capitalize on the fact that they have a D to make women that they know obviously is way above their league less. This type of men will tell you that if you have girl children, you don't have a child. Some of them parade themselves as traditional men. Avoid them. Can you imagine somebody like Dangote, Obama, like all those wealthy, influential guys asking for submissiveness? Is it done? It's impossible, baby. But you see all those Minayons, all those low-level men, they are always the ones demanding for submissiveness. Avoid them at all costs. 3, men that doesn't have a good relationship with their family. A man who is not family-oriented, avoid them. This type of men can abandon you and your children without thinking twice. A man that doesn't regard his parents will not regard you in the long run. You will know how well a man is going to treat you from the way he treats his mama and the way he treats his siblings. So any man you see that has totally abandoned his people, open your eyes very well before you agree to start a family with such a man. I hope that these tips helps you in your journey to finding a life partner. Let me know if you found any of the tips helpful, and I'll see you in my next. Bye.
Here are 5 different types of men that you should avoid dating. You want to avoid dating the guy that is constantly surrounded by women. It's one of the telling signs that he could actually be unfaithful. Avoid dating the stingy guy. It's not even about money. A man that does not share his resources or connections with you does not actually like you. Avoid the broke man that wants you to rescue him from his poverty. Those types of men have never experienced money or power, so when they get it, they will betray you. Avoid the man that has a history of dishonesty. If you discover that a man has a track record of lying or betraying trust, it's just wise that you avoid him overall. And the last one is avoid the man that disrespects your boundaries. If you found this video helpful, be sure to follow me for more, and I also have a very affordable dating course that is on my profile, so be sure to check that out. Bye!
Do you want to know how to spot a dangerous man? Author Sandra L. Brown says that there are 8 types. Here's all 8, but let's talk about the 4th one, the man with the hidden life. You don't know the man with a hidden life, and it's not because you don't want to. It's because you aren't allowed to. This man, he leaves you feeling the most fooled. How can you decide if a man is a good fit if you don't know who he is? Men with hidden lives, they have complicated histories. They don't feel connected to people. They desire the high, the chase, the challenge. These types feel entitled to have their cake and eat it too. They don't believe that their other life is any of your concern. This is a man who says that he's private, says that he doesn't like other people in his business. In the beginning, some of this may seem alluring. The lack of information, it can be intriguing. He's successful in conning you because he's vague. He disguises his secrets by calling it privacy.
The top 3 men that you need to avoid if you want commitment and exclusivity in a relationship, part 2. First one is the sperm donor. This is the guy who has children by multiple other women, but there's always some reason, and it's usually the baby mama's fault, why he isn't a better dad to them. If he has more than 2 children with more than 2 women, he is absolutely off the table and not a viable option for dating or relationships for you. He's non-committal, shows a pattern of inconsistency, doesn't take accountability for his choices, and is able to walk away from his responsibilities. The second is the workaholic, because he gains his worth from his work, which means that he'll always have a need to achieve, to accomplish, to build, to create something, even if he has everything that he needs. and you'll never be enough to satisfy or fulfill him, which means you'll be left often neglected and potentially abandoned. And the third is the show off. This is the guy who dresses to impress no matter where you go. Every conversation includes a line about what he has or what he's about to get, and he's always fishing for compliments. The show off is emotionally immature and emotionally needy. He'll constantly be looking and seeking validation from external sources, which means he's highly likely to cheat, and your connection will predominantly be superficial. Everything he does is ego-based, and you'll never get that deep connection that you're seeking.
Never, and I mean never, trust a guy who does this. Because if he does this, I don't care if you're in love with him, I don't care if you're moving in together and you just got a dog, you gotta walk away after this. Never trust a guy who makes everything your fault. If every time there's a problem, he turns it around on you, whether it's something you said, something you did, something you didn't do, that's a huge red flag. I don't care if he says, I'm just being honest, or you're too sensitive. No. That's gaslighting, that's manipulation. If he's making you feel like you're always the one in the wrong, always the one to blame, then you know what? That's not love. That's control. That's him messing with your head and trying to make you doubt yourself. So, listen, never trust a guy who's always flipping things around on you. If he can't take responsibility for his own actions, he's never going to own up to anything, and that's not someone you want in your life. Just keep it moving. You deserve better.